Okay, let's let you all in. Um, the chat is open for now. We will be closing it in a minute. Or shall we close it? I think we'll keep it open today, actually. Evening, evening. Hello, hello. Nice to see you all. I missed some of you on Friday. For those of you that were in the challenge, I was very like getting into doing the challenge every morning, and then all of a sudden, you weren't there. I have to record. I think it is already recording, actually. Yeah, it's saying it's recording, so that's good. I don't need to do anything. Hello, hello. Oh, thank you very much. Where are you all calling in from? Let me know. We've got 930 on already, and it's going up. Oh, from all over the place, proper all over the place. It's nice doing it at 8 p.m. because we can get all our lovely Americans on as well, because it's the right time. Paraguay. Wow. I love that. This is so cool. It's so cool to have you from all of these different places. Thank you for being with me today. I know that you have choices of where you spend your evenings, and you're here with me. I was just talking to the team. I was just telling them a little story about every year I do this exact, you know, teaching people how to make money each year online. And one year, I think it was about 3 years ago, I was supposed to be doing it, but I was on a plane and the plane got massively delayed by like 2 hours. So by the time I got to the airport, it was like half an hour from when I was supposed to start it. And I lived like much further away than that. And so I had to pretend to the people on the plane, to the air hostess and hosts, that there was a family emergency so that they could stop everyone else getting off the plane and let me off the plane first. Then I dashed to get a cab, and I actually got onto the call about 4 minutes late and carried on doing it as if nothing had ever happened. I feel like every time we do this, something happens. The last time we did it, the tech went wrong. We just couldn't get the tech to work. We were actually doing it in a lodge, and it just wouldn't, the Wi-Fi wouldn't work. It was crazy. So I'm feeling pretty good that so far, touch wood, nothing bad has happened, and I'm here and you're here and nothing's gone wrong yet. So that's pretty good. We started well. I want to know something from you. I might have jinxed it now. You might be right. I would like to know how many of you did the challenge this week and how many of you are new. You've just come in for the masterclass. So put challenge or new, challenge or new. Oh, a bit of a mix. We've got some new people here. Don't worry if you didn't do the challenge, because I'm going to go over some of it anyway. Lots of you did do the challenge. For those of you that did the challenge, there are going to be some prizes that you could win. For those of you that are here anyway, as always, I'm going to give some random cash prizes during it. Should we give a random cash prize now? What should we give? Who wants a £25 voucher for... I'm bored of Amazon. Where can I give a voucher to? We'll start with Amazon just because it's easy, but I might give other prizes for other places soon. Okay, I'm just going to choose one at random. It's hard to see. You're doing it too fast. I can't see. Sally Talbot. Sally Talbot, you get £25. If you want to DM me your email address, I will send it over to you. And there will be more prizes. Do not worry. I love giving prizes away. It's fun. Okay, who wants to learn how to make some money online in 2026? It is not as hard as you think. All these people saying, oh, it's hard now. It doesn't work anymore. It does work. You're just not doing it right. I'm going to tell you how to do it right instead. Okay. All right, then, let me share my screen with you. And do not worry, I'm going to do a whole Q&A section afterwards. I'm going to answer all the questions. So if you can not ask questions during, it's going to make things easier, because if you do, when I go to answer the questions, if you've asked it miles away, like at the beginning, I won't even see it. I'll only see it from when I do the Q&A. So try not to ask the questions. I'm not going to mute the chat, because sometimes I like asking you questions. I want to know what you need. But there is a Q&A box, and I will do questions in the chat as well, but at the end. So if we can wait till then, you can still chat to me. It's all good. Right then, let me just share my screen with you. Some of you will definitely have seen this presentation or want a bit like it before. Some of you might not. So you might have seen we've changed it. It's about making income and impact in 2026, because income is just a byproduct of making impact. I was going to get those wrong then. And so I really want you to focus on how you can impact people, not just make income, because one honestly makes the other work. I promise you. So I want you to know that I've helped thousands of people grow really strong personal brands. Growing a strong personal brand is the quickest way to make money online right now. In the next half an hour, I'm going to show you how you can do it too. Get a piece of paper and a pen if you haven't got one, or the notes on your phone, either of those things. But it's all about personal brands. Okay, I'm going to give you 5 facts about me. Oh, look how cute the twins were. They're not this cute now. At 14, but they were cute then. So the only reason I'm telling you 5 facts about me is because I used to do that thing like lots of people do, where they go, well, it's all right for her, she's going to be able to do it, or it's all right for him, he's going to be able to do it, because insert weird reason. And I don't want you to do that, whether that reason is she's thinner than me, she's got more money than me, she doesn't have a chronic illness like me, I've got 4 kids and she only had 2. Just get rid of all the reasons, because it doesn't matter. You can still do it. It will be a different journey for everybody, but you can still make money online. So I'm not special. I know that sounds like I'm being a bit self-deprecating, but I'm really not special. I believe that anyone can do what I've done, no matter where you started from. The reason I say no matter where you started from is because I grew up in a council house in Lincolnshire. Americans, that's welfare to you. I grew up in poverty, in a single parent household. My dad actually brought me up. And, you know, I was poor, but I didn't really know that I was poor until I went to secondary school, because I got a scholarship to a really good school. And in that really good school, I got bullied for years and years from day one for being poor. That's how I knew I was poor, because I had the secondhand uniform and the free lunches and all the other things. You could just tell I was poor. I didn't look like the other people there. And so I got bullied really badly. And that actually made me leave school without any good qualifications. I could have done so much better. But I'd been told for years that I was ugly, that I'd never make anything of myself, that because I was poor, that, you know, I wasn't in the right families, all of these things. And if you hear something over and over again, don't know if any of you have been bullied here, but for those of you that have, you'll get it. You start to believe it, and you start to believe you can't make anything of yourself. And so I left school completely believing I would never do anything in life. And I got a job for £35 a week. And I then clawed my way up the kind of job ladder, up the corporate ladder, and I did quite well. I actually ended up as a risk analyst in an investment bank in Canary Wharf in London, where the thing that I learned was business, and how, well, it wasn't really business. It was more like spotting the trends in business, the future trends. And I'd done okay. And then I kind of accidentally got pregnant with twins while going through a divorce. So it wasn't the best timing. But what that meant was I had to start from scratch, because you can't work in an investment bank as a single parent. I was at work at 6 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night. I just couldn't do it. And so what I actually decided to do was start again and get a job near my house. But that meant going right down from a 60,000 salary to a 20,000 salary and trying to feed 2 kids. And my salary that I was paying out was the same as their childcare costs. So I wasn't earning anything. And I just got into loads of debt. I was 35,000 in debt at that point. And so I decided to start a business, but I didn't really know anything about business, but that's okay. I thought, well, other people start them, so I'm going to start one. So I started a wedding planning business called Carmela Weddings, because that's my middle name. That's little me about 14 years ago. And I learned on the job. I made all the mistakes as a wedding planner. it took ages for me to make money. In the first year, I made £1.15 an hour and I didn't understand what I was doing wrong. And then I decided after that first year, I had a new boyfriend who is my husband now. And he said, like, are you able to leave your job? And I was like, well, not if I'm only earning £1.15 an hour. And so I made a decision. I had to think to myself, am I going to just live hand to mouth, paycheck to paycheck, always in debt? I'm in generational debt, so it was quite normal in my family. Or am I going to really learn business? So I decided to learn business, but I didn't have any money. So I went to the library, I read all the books, I went to all the free webinars, and I did all of that. And in a year, I turned the wedding business around to making a lot of money. And over the next couple of years, people started asking me how I'd done it. And so I started just telling people what to do for free. And they were like, that thing you told me, I did it and I tripled my revenue. I was like, cool, because all I was doing was teaching people what I'd read, but taking all the jargon out, because I don't believe business has to be complicated. I think people make it complicated. So I told them what to do. They made money. And then after a couple of years of this, it was actually 9 years ago this week, I thought, you know what? I could make money just teaching people how to do this business thing. So I did. And it was pretty good. In the first year of starting that business, which is called Lisa Johnson Strategy, I made £220,000, which is more money than I'd ever seen. I felt like winning the lottery. But I was working 80 hours a week because I was only working with people on a one-to-one basis. So like, you know, they'd come to me, I'd coach them or like give them strategy, then they would pay me. And I put my prices up 3 times to 10,000 for like a day. And I couldn't take on any more clients because I was working all the hours and there was only so much time in the day. And so I decided to change things because that isn't what success is to me. Everyone was saying how successful I was because I'd made this money so quickly, but I didn't feel successful because I was knackered and I was working like all the hours, and that isn't what I wanted in my life. And so I decided to put half the money into learning about passive income streams. And I tried everything, all the different ones, cryptocurrency, affiliate marketing, apps. I did drop shipping. I learned everything. And then I started to just add things into the business that worked, memberships, courses, one-to-many kind of stuff. And then by the end of year 2, I was only working 30 hours a month and I was earning over $1 million in profit. And that's when I knew this is what I need to teach everybody. And since then, it's been about 6 years since then, I've earned $20 million, $30 million. It's about 22 million, 23 million pounds in that time. And although things have changed, I've had to tweak things over the years. It's always worked for me. And that's really what I'm still teaching now. And it's meant that my life has completely changed, like completely changed. I've been on Forbes and The Guardian and all the different things. I had a Sunday Times bestseller, a #1 podcast. It's been crazy. Now, you will see that I talk a lot about money. And I do this for a reason. I care about people more than money. But when I first started in business, I couldn't find anybody that comes from where I come from, who had the same problems as me, that was making money. And so I vowed that I would always talk about how much money I make when I got there, so that if there's another person looking to see an example of themselves, they will see me. And that's why I always talk about it. So yeah, I achieved more than I ever thought possible, but I truly believe, and I've said this all week, success is not success unless you pull people up with you, because what's success on your own? And so I have been really lucky to have been able to help thousands of people also be successful. And that's why I teach this stuff still now. Okay, let's get going. I hope that's a little bit of inspiration for you. I feel like all I wanted was inspiration for people to tell me that I could do it when I started. And you really can. So much of it is wrapped up in what you believe you can do. And if you believe you can, you end up doing it. So this is for you, this webinar. If you're working hard, but you're not making enough money, You're making some money, but you've hit an income ceiling because of time. You're exhausted. If you take time off or you get ill, you don't get paid. Your relationships are suffering. You've followed online advice and maybe you've bought programs before or courses and they just don't seem to have worked for you. Most people that come and work with me have already tried something before that didn't work. Your online business used to make you money, but it kind of stopped in 2025. And that's because you didn't move forward with what is working now. So making money online ethically, that's there for a reason, is still working. The difference now is that you have to grow a really strong personal brand. And that just means more of you in things. And that's because of AI. So because of how changed the world is, just putting something out there that you've written on chat will never work. It needs to be more of you. You need to connect to your audience, just like I'm connecting with you. You need to be vulnerable, you need to tell your story, and you need to tell the truth. And we're in something that's called, in business, a trust recession. And when you're in a trust recession, the only thing that matters, the economy, is you and how much of yourself you're willing to put out there. And so that's what I want to teach you a bit more about today. Now, first of all, I'm going to tell you there's lots of unethical ways to make money online. Like if you just want to make money, you can go and do a crypto scam, a pyramid scheme, a fake affiliate marketing scheme. There are tons of those out there giving us a bad name. Pyramid coaching scams, sleazy sales that are pushy. There's so many ways to make money. There are a million ways to make £1 million. But I would rather, you stopped worrying about this 6-figure, 7-figure ridiculousness that's all over the internet because it doesn't really matter. To have the amazing life you want, you might not even need £1 million. You might need less than that. You might need more than that. But can we stop following everybody else's version of success out there, all that noise, and instead really think about what we want and work towards that? Because you're all different. You all have different needs. You all have different versions of what success really means. You know, I have clients that sometimes they just want to not be able to work their 9-to-5 job for 2 days a week so they can spend more time with their kids. And that is what success looks like to them. That might only be 5K. Whereas for other people, they're already at 7 figures and they know they need to make more money for the plans that they have. And that's okay too. But let's really deliberately work out what we want rather than just following this 6-7 figure stuff that we keep hearing online, because it doesn't mean anything. And also let's do it in an ethical way that allows you to have a real business model that's sustainable and long-term. This business has kept me going for like 9 years now. And there's so many other things I see that are like, you know, the pyramid stuff that comes in and it's like, this is a subscription thing that we're doing and then everyone buys into it and then it disappears a year later and everyone goes into something else. There's always a new thing. Let's not do that. Build yourself a business model that works for you. How are we feeling? Is this what we actually want? Good. Good, 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 good. This is what I want for you. Brilliant. Okay. So there are lots of different types of business models in the world. There are the one-to-one, what's called one-to-one offline model. This is like if you have an agency or if you help people offline. So let's say you're a personal trainer offline. You don't do it online, you just offline. You go and meet your client and you do your hour with that person and you get paid for it. That's an offline model of business. There's then the one-to-one online model. So this is where that personal trainer has come online, and because his client is far away, he's doing it over Zoom with them. So it's still one-to-one, but it's online instead of offline. There are things like group programs and workshops. There are courses. Remembering that courses on their own won't work as well at the moment because of the trust recession. You need a course that has support, has you. Maybe you can do it live. Memberships work really well. Subscription boxes that are sent out by post. There are also something called masterminds. This is where you have a hive mind of people that are on the same journey to get somewhere and they help each other and you are the facilitator. And then there's high ticket. These are things like VIP experiences that you give to people. So I do high ticket. If people want to work with me one-to-one over a period of 3 months, it's £30,000. So that's my high ticket, my VIP offer. And I don't do many of them because that's my time, and your time is the most important thing. So I'm going to show you what's worked for me in business to have the best amount of free time and more money, because there is a balance to be had here. So the 4 main things that have brought me the money that I've made: a high ticket cash injection. So this is the one-to-ones that I was telling you about. A main signature program. Mine is called One-to-Many, and I'm going to tell you all about it at the end of this webinar. A recurring revenue engine. I have a membership with between 800 and 1,000 people at any one time that pay monthly, so that you always have recurring revenue coming in. That's what you're trying to aim for. And an evergreen system. This is where people can buy your whatever you have, your product, whenever suits them. So you can keep making money all the time. Whereas One-to-Many, which is my big group program, only comes out once a year, is open for a week, and then I close it. That's called a launch model. So those things are the things that have done well for me. And as you can see, that's a mixed model with passive income or semi-passive income streams at the core of it. That's what's changed my life, and it's what's changed the hundreds of clients that I've given time back to them, because they now have at least some passive or semi-passive income streams. Let's just talk quickly about what passive income is and what it isn't. All it really is you no longer trading time for money. So if you are, what did I say in the challenge this week? If you're a web designer and you make somebody's website, then you get paid when you've done that website. But if you don't spend your time doing the website, you don't get paid. So what would be better for that person to do is to also teach other people that can't afford for them to do their website how to do a website themselves. Because then people who can't afford your £10,000 branding package or website package, you can do a course for £1,000 and have 50 people on it who can't afford you and teach them how to do it themselves. So that then becomes semi-passive income, because once you've written it, it's an asset that you can sell over and over and over again without doing any more work apart from marketing it. I always use the if you have a rented house model, because it just makes more sense. You create an asset that you can sell over and over again. So if you have a spare room in your house, you already have the house, but you're going to make the room look nice. You're going to paint it, put a bed in it, put a chest of drawers in it. Then you're going to market it. You're going to put it in your local newspaper saying room for rent. So you're creating the asset. And then when someone buys that asset and decides to move into that room, you make money every month without having to do anything. And that's what passive income really is. You're just putting things out there. Is it really passive? No, I don't even know why it's called passive income. It should be called leveraged income, because all it does is leverage your time. Instead of doing something for one person, you can do something for 50 or 1,000 people. So I could be teaching one of you this right now, but instead I'm impacting more of you because I'm teaching so many of you this at the same time. That's the difference in it. So the reason it's not passive is because in the first year, you are going to be learning how to grow an audience, how to launch, all the things. That's not very passive. And also, you'll still always have to market it. That's not completely passive. Yes, it gets easier, but it's definitely not passive in the first couple of years. It becomes passive later on down the line when you're doing it for the 5th, 6th, 7th time. So the reason I'm telling you this is because there are so many ridiculous get-rich-quick schemes out there that pretend that passive income means that you lay on a beach and money somehow is in your bank account while you do nothing. I promise you, they've not done nothing. They've done something to make that work. So it's really about working smarter, but you still need to work hard. It's time to stop listening to people that say you can work an hour a week. You can't. It's just a lie. So what's the difference between passive income and semi-passive income? Passive income is when you create, let's say you create a course and you put it on a sales page and people can buy it even when you're asleep. And you wake up the next morning, someone's bought it, they're listening to the recorded version of it somewhere in the world. You can see the money in your bank account. But because of the trust recession that we are in at the moment, I think that's not the way of doing things, because recorded courses don't have you in them. They can't see your passion for them. So instead, it's still good leverage time. If you can do it live, like I'm doing now with you guys, can you see the difference between me showing up and doing this live, or if I just gave you a recording of it? It's completely different. You can ask questions, you can get support. All of those things make it semi-passive, because it's not completely passive. I'm still having to show up and do it live, but I am still doing it to 1,200 of you instead of one. And so it still leverages your time, is a better way of doing things. But there is a difference now. I would go so far as to say for the next 2 years, nothing that is completely passive is going to work that well. It needs to be semi-passive at the moment. Here are a few types of passive income streams. Property, things like cryptocurrency, things like courses, memberships, recipe cards like templates, digital products that you can put on the internet, drop shipping, printables. There's so many different ways that you can actually make passive income. But I think the simplest way is, first of all, to make it semi-passive and to realize your knowledge is not common knowledge. People want to buy it. So instead of teaching one, you can teach many people through your personal brand. Now, some of you are going to think you don't have any knowledge. Some of you did the challenge this week with like, I don't have anything that I know that people would want to buy. And then when you saw everybody else's, you realized everyone does. Everyone does. I've seen people make money in the craziest things. I had a client that made £30,000 a month showing people how to hula hoop. I had a client that made way more than that with a cat subscription box for cat owners. I've seen memberships from my clients on sex, on dating, on how to cook certain food, on everything, fostering, getting divorced without a lawyer, potty training, how to travel. The first one I ever saw actually was how to get around Disneyland with 2 under 2s, because I bought it. But people make money from everything. I always tell people this story of this priest. So there was this priest, right? And he was an old priest. And he used to take his sermons that he'd given every week and put them in a membership. It was just a Facebook group that he put them in. And all of these younger priests would buy the sermon and go and use the sermon in their church that week. So they couldn't bother to write one. They'd just use his. And he started charging, and he was making about 20 or 30,000 every single month from doing this. That was very semi-passive because he had those sermons already from before. He was just putting them out there for all the other people to use them. We've had like knitting. You know, we had an older lady who made a knitting membership, and she put a pattern in each month. And people copied the pattern, and then in the Facebook group, they showed what they'd knitted. So you could do anything. You all have knowledge, and you think everyone knows it, and they don't know it. So here are the 3 reasons that people stop making passive income, or they don't even start actually making passive income. First one is, it's been done before. I bet some of you have already written in the chat, my idea has been done before. It might have been done before. It very likely has, because nothing is really a new idea. But it doesn't matter, because you're growing a personal brand. People buy into you and the way you do something. So there were loads of people teaching what I teach. There probably are still loads of people that teach what I teach, but I've always had constant clients because people like the way I do it. There'll be some people that hate the way I do it. They're probably listening right now going, oh my God, that girl's voice is really annoying me. And so if they think that, they're going to go and find it somewhere else with a voice that doesn't annoy them. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are so many different ways to teach something in your way. And No one wakes up and says, oh, I really want to be a hairdresser, but there's already a hairdresser in the world, because that would be ridiculous. Yet for some reason online, we think just because it's been done before means we can't do it. We can. We just make it our own. And the second is, well, I'm not the guru of this. I'm not the guru. Oprah is the guru. Tony Robbins is the guru. Somebody else, some amazing famous person is the guru. You don't have to be. You need to be the one that knows just enough for people to want to buy it from you. And actually, I've found over the years that people want to buy from people who are only a few steps away from what they're teaching. They don't, and they've had experience in it. They don't want someone that did it 15 years ago. It's why you see a lot of the online people that were doing really well 10, 15 years ago aren't doing that well anymore, because they're so far away from where their audience is and things have changed. And the other one that is new for the last year is, well, side hustles and digital product sales and courses and memberships and launching and anything else no longer works. It does work. It works perfectly, because all of my clients last year made a lot of money, but all of my one-to-one clients. But the reason it's not working is because you're still doing things that you tried in 2020 and the world has changed. You have to do things that work now. And that means a personal brand at the forefront. Remember that an expert is the person that knows the most about a particular subject in an average room, not in the world or the internet or your town, an average room. Who is shocked by this and thought that actually they had to be the person that is the only expert, the one person that does it? Yeah. You don't have to be. You just have to know enough to teach somebody else what they want to know. As if anyone has ever said to you, can I take you out for coffee to pick your brains? That means you have something to sell, basically. Even if it's just a friend, because someone wants to know what you know. So digital courses and memberships are a multi-billion-pound industry which you can become a part of. Yes, it's changed, but it's far from over. I'm going to show you exactly how me and thousands of my clients have done it already. And people often say, yeah, but your clients probably did it 5 years ago when it was less saturated. I had clients who were brand new last year that are making £700,000 this year. So you can't say that. Like, there are people who start and make money quickly. There are people who start and make money after 3 or 4 years. But it's certainly not only the people that started years ago that are making money. So the CASSH system is how I explain what to do, because it makes people remember it easier. It's my trademarked system for creating semi-passive income streams. And these are the things you need to do. 1, work out who you want to help. Those of you that have done the challenge this week, you will start recognizing some of why you've done what we did this week, so that you've got some of these parts of the CASSH system done. So you need to work out who you want to help. Even before you work out whether you want a membership or a course or a group program or a workshop or whatever, work out who you want to help, because they'll tell you what they want from you. It's usually, but not always, a version of you. Mine is me 5 years ago. Once you've worked that out, we go on to the A, audience. You need to grow an audience of the people that you just said you wanted to help. And how we do that is we use a funnel, and we did a bit of the funnel. We did the lead magnet freebie part of the funnel in the challenge this week, and a visibility strategy. A multi-layered visibility strategy is the best way. Put those two things together, you will grow an audience quickly. Shocker, you don't need to use social media. You can use social media, but you don't have to use social media. Loads of my clients don't use social media for this. There are far many other ways in a multi-layered visibility strategy to do it. S is structure and systems. This is things like, what platform are you going to use? There are so many different platforms now. The tech used to stop people. We've found these days that when we teach it, it stops less people, because they've made it more user-friendly, all these different systems. And also in one-to-many, we give you all the templates so you don't have to do it yourself, which helps. But basically, it's this how you want to do something. So for me, I always teach on video like this, but for some people, they hate video. So they might want to do it in audio, or they might want to just have workbooks. There's different ways you can do things, checklists, all sorts. I really like video, so that's the way I do it. And I have found different tech platforms that help me do things like a CRM system that I can send emails to everybody really quickly out of. Things that help me with all the different parts of the business. I'm going to talk to you a bit about that later on. The next S is called selling. And that for online business means launching, which is what I'm doing right now. Hopefully those of you in the challenge can see that everything I taught you this week, I've been doing to you. So selling just means launching, and launching is a 6 to 12 week process, and it changes every single year, which is why if your launches used to go well 3 years ago and they don't now, it's because you're not launching for what's working right now. Now, lots of people say, I did what you said, I worked out what my course is going to be, I wrote the sales page, I grew an audience, I put it out there, and no one bought it. The reason no one bought it is because you didn't launch properly 99% of the time, or you didn't grow an audience properly. It will always be one of those two things. So just launch properly. It's a 6 to 12 week process. It's a step-by-step, quite easy process to follow. You can even watch how I'm doing it now and work out some of it. And the H is for happy. And this is about keeping your clients happy, because remember how we said, nothing is passive the first time you do it. You're going to be growing an audience, launching, writing your content, all this stuff. It only becomes passive the second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth time that you do it. And you won't get to do it that many times unless your clients are saying how great it was. So the reason that we didn't have to spend any money on Facebook ads for like years, way past £1 million in revenue in our business, is because our clients shouted about it everywhere. They still do that now. There will be clients who are on here right now who watch it every year that have made money from one to many that will probably write it in the chat. Because if you keep your clients happy and you've done a good job, they will always shout about you. It is your best form of getting new clients. For instance, we have over 1,000 testimonials. And sometimes we use something called affiliates, which is where some of our past clients say, I loved your course, I really want to recommend it to others. And we're like, okay, here's an affiliate link. If you sell it to others, we'll give you 10%, or 20%, or whatever we're doing at the time. And some of them are affiliates. This year we have a few affiliates, but we have thousands of people that aren't, who still shout about us, even though they're not getting anything from it. And the way we did this is to make sure we gave them what they needed. And that's what I want you to do with your stuff. So, for instance, we saw how much people struggled with the tech, so we gave them all the templates so they didn't have to struggle anymore. We saw that people found it really difficult to write their emails to launch, so we gave them the templates for that. Anything you can do to make it easier for your clients, you do, because then they will shout about it for you. So that's what the CASSH system is. Are you all still with me? I'm checking on you all. Make sure I'm not like confusing any of you. I see loads of OTM people there. Oh, I love that you're all back in here. So cool. Okay, we'll keep going then if you're still with me. The part that's changed this year, the reason why so many people aren't making the money they used to, personal brand is now key. I don't mean logos. I don't mean like what fonts you're using. I mean you are your personal brand. I mean how you're showing up, what you're saying out there, how you're strengthening that personal brand. I actually have a framework on how to strengthen a personal brand so that you become a category of one, so that people only want to work with you. And it's really important that you understand personal brand this year. I wanted to show you a behind the scenes look of my business in an average year. And then I'm going to show you last year because they're different. So this year was, I think, 2023 or 2024, one of those two. And you can see here, and I show this because no one ever showed me. I used to be like, how did you make the money? And no one would ever tell me. So now I'm like, I'm just going to tell you. So courses, we made 2.7 million from courses, which I delivered, and it took 8 hours a month to deliver it because I did it once a week. I kind of think of courses as done with you because they're semi-passive. I show up live just like I do now. Then we had evergreen and low ticket products. Evergreen meant they were recorded. People could just watch them and I wouldn't have to do anything at all because I'd already recorded them. So it was 0 hours. We made 74,000 from that. My membership, which is really low ticket, low cost, 4 hours it used to take me a month in my membership. It's very do it yourself. I'm not in it that much. We made 450,000. I had a mastermind at that time. That's kind of high ticket. People used to pay me about 25,000 to come into my mastermind. And it used to take me 12 hours a month. It was the thing that took me the most time. And I made 600,000. I affiliated for different products that I use that I like. So I told people about it and I got a percentage. That made me 100,000. And then I did used to do not very many one-to-ones for a day or one-to-ones over 3 months. And that made me 96,000. So that's less than 1.5 hours a day of delivery made me 4 million. The rest was on marketing, the rest of the time. But in 2025, I made a decision. I decided that I cared about impact more than income because I wasn't happy. Even though I'd made all this money, I'd had amazing opportunities and I had an amazing life. But I felt like the whole industry was just focused on money, money, money all the time. And actually, impact, if you impact enough people, you'll get money anyway. The money will come because you'll be doing a good job. So I wanted to simplify my whole business, less products, which will mean less revenue, less money, but more time for myself and more impact on other people. So last year, I went from 4.1 million to 2.8 million. But as you can see, I only spent 22 hours a month on delivery of my courses, evergreen, membership, high ticket, and in-person days and retreats. We did need to spend more on marketing than normal last year. We spent more time on marketing, but it meant my time was freed up. I didn't work in July or August or December because I wanted to spend more time with my kids. So you get to choose whether you want to do that. Like, I think a lot of people wanted more time last year and they were too scared to tell their audience that they were going to make less money. I really wasn't. I don't care what people think. I wanted to make less money because I wanted more time. So how did we manage to continue to make multi-millions? Because we predict audience trends and launch trends. And the reason I'm able to do this is because we work with so many thousands of people a year that I can see very quickly what's going to happen. I can see very quickly. I could tell personal branding was going to become the most important thing last year and this year. I could tell what was going to happen with AI would make people not trust as much. And I could tell what we needed to do in launching because I got all of my clients to test things in their launches so that I could teach you what was working. And what works 10 years ago or 2 years ago just doesn't have the same effect. I want to show you, before I tell you who has won the challenge and tell you more about one-to-many, I want to show you a selection of people that have actually done this and made money, different amounts of money in completely different ways. Before I do this, I want to tell you, not all were teaching anything to do with business. Less than 50% were coaches, and a large amount that did one-to-many didn't have a business at all when they started. Some did. The reason I show you some of these is to show you there are so many different types of people that do this in different ways. And we were going to double the amount we showed you this year, but I'm not going to. I've kept it at 4 slides of different people. So people like Matt, who does similar to me, he made 150,000. Hannah Hannah Love, there on the right, she helps people get their babies to sleep. That is what she does. She's really good at it. And people pay her to tell them how to get her babies to sleep. And she's made £250,000 doing that. The lovely Claire, who we're going to interview, I think, this week, she has helped people eat well and become, more nutritious in what they eat because they don't know what to. And she's made 130,000 doing that. Lauren has helped people in different ways. She has still a membership for people that like the theatre. She has a subscription box, and she teaches other people how to have subscription boxes, and she made 6 million. Jenny helps people who like to sew. There's all these different people. Emily, actually, the lovely Emily, who's made 160,000, she put a post in the group today about how she made hers. All these people. Danny made 1 million helping people on stages after doing one-to-many. Tina, it's very spiritual. She helped people with the spiritual side of their life. Rachel helped people with books. Stacey helped people who wanted to franchise their business. Lauren helped people first that wanted to learn how to bake and people that had baking businesses. And then she helped people who had ADHD. We've got Nicola over there. She helped people with PR because she used to be a journalist. Nikki helped people. She used to be a chiropractor for animals. All these different people. Richard was a tutor. He was a teacher and he helped tutors that wanted to make more money. Sandra helps people with all sorts of things like stages. Roz is great. So Roz made £500,000 by teaching people how to grow cut flowers. Charlie helped people with sales, made 2.4 million. Natalie helped wedding photographers, this is a niche, learn how to do group shots. That's how she started with her one-to-many journey. Mangler helps expats who live in different countries. So many different things that people help people with. So I just wanted to give you a few of those. Here are the challenge winners before I tell you all about one-to-many in case you want to continue learning with me. Challenge winners, Abby has won. Abby Toom has won a Mulberry wallet. Luke Richardson has won a Fortnum & Mason hamper. And Sally Sawnby, I can't remember what you've won, but it's something good. Anyway, I need all of you to give me your addresses. So please DM me them. And our community prize, the person that really helped in the community, I need your email address, is Catherine Moore. So congratulations to all of you. But even if you didn't win one of the prizes, congratulations for getting to the end of a challenge. It's really not easy to do that. It makes me know that you're going to be good students. I'm going to tell you about one-to-many, and then I'm going to answer all your questions on all of this. Is that okay with you? Before I start, let me know if that's okay. Wow, you've been chatting a lot. Oh, you've been talking about your one-to-many journeys. Good. Oh, everyone's congratulating. That's so nice. Okay. So it's actually changed. It was called one-to-many, but we have really changed it. And this year it's called One-to-Many Elite. And I will tell you why in a second. So this is for you if you feel stuck where you are without enough time to do the things you love or spend time to be with the people that you love. Maybe you're stuck financially, not bringing the money you want to, and you feel like you've tried everything. Or you feel like it just seems to be other people that do these big life changes and succeed. Then it's for you. You can choose your path. What most people do is nothing and hope that someone will rescue them or they'll magically change their lives. Or keep trying to figure it out on your own, wasting time, or just follow the thousands that have already done it. I have a proven system that you can see so many people have used over and over again. I've helped so many people shortcut to a business or side hustle that makes them money. You've seen that. I don't think people can see out there how many people have done this and it's worked. I'm not telling you it's a get rich quick scheme. It might take you a while. You won't make money in the first 2 months. Let me tell you that. But I can show you what's working now because I help thousands of people do it. It is CPD certified. For those of you in the UK, you will understand what that means. In the US, it just means that it's gone through a certification process, an accreditation process to make sure it's of a really high quality. It's actually accredited to be worth 80 hours of CPD points. So you can tell from that it's a really good standard. You do get a certification if you want to do the exam at the end. Some people want to take the exam, some don't. It's completely up to you. So here's what you're going to learn in it. In module 1, we teach you how to get your idea for passive income, because it all starts with that, working out what it should be, what's worked in the past. Even if you think you don't know what it's going to be, we'll help you find it. Module 2, we teach you how to grow your audience and how to put together a sales funnel, and we'll give you the templates to do it. It's all a numbers game. We'll show you how to bring in money quite quickly using tripwires. Module 3 is all about creating your first lead magnet. You started a bit of that if you did the challenge. We show you how to use Canva to do it. Module 4 is about how to grow your audience organically without using money. This is where we talk about a bit social media, a lot personal branding, and mostly a multi-layered visibility strategy. Module 5 is about if you do want to use Facebook ads. We do two sessions on Facebook ads, and you might need them further down the line, so just keep them if you're not ready for ads yet. Module 6 is about planning the content of the course or the membership or the subscription box. We'll tell you what goes into them, what works really well, what sells really well, extras, bonuses, all of that kind of stuff. And then we teach you how to write a really good long form sales page. You don't need a website, you just need a sales page. And we'll show you how to convert that into cash. We'll talk about the tech needed and all of that, and we do it step by step. Module 8 is the one all about launching. I love launching. It's my favorite module. We'll discuss your launch strategy and what is working right now. We'll talk about how to price, what you want to sell, and what you need to have in place before you launch. We'll teach you a bit about affiliates too. Module 9 is all about metrics and conversion rates. What this basically means is you can predict exactly how much money you're going to make with some certain tools that we give you. Module 10 is about retention, retaining people in a membership, or remarketing a course over and over again so that people keep buying it. And module 11 is a Q&A where we bring it all together. So what's included in the program? You have an orientation so that you can get the most out of it. 11 modules of training by me and my team, a supportive Facebook group for 6 months. We have our mindset coach, Renee, throughout in there to help you. And we also have every 2 weeks accountability networking sessions, because I think people need accountability. This year, we have a brand new module. It's going to be taught live by me, and it's all about how to grow a strong personal brand, because that is now really, really important. So what makes this one-to-many elite? Something crazy. We are giving you something that no program at this level has ever done. It's going to change the game. So we want people to get to the end of the program. And we know some people don't, because when things get tough or life gets in the way, people quit. So we're giving you the only thing that makes sure this happens. We're including giving you a one-to-one coach who knows one-to-many inside out, who is going to help you for 6 months. You actually get a one-to-one coach of your own for 45 minutes every month for 6 months. How's that for accountability? It's just going to change everything, because if you know you have to get some work done by the next time you see that coach, you're going to do it. And also it means that you can brainstorm ideas with them and chat about what they've seen work before. We're also giving you some bonuses, the funnel templates. We know the tech is tricky. So we've put together templates for all of the main parts of a funnel you need and what has worked for us over 8 years. The templates will take away the stress of growing an audience online and writing sales pages. Everybody gets these who buys the program. We understand that some of you want to start trying to make money straight away while growing your audience. So our sales expert, Envis, will be sharing her expertise in her Quick Cash Masterclass. She's going to be doing this live for you so you can ask questions. Everyone's going to get that. Not only do we teach you how to write emails that grow your audience and launch emails that sell your services, but our guest copywriter, Georgina, will be giving you the templates for free included. We know they convert because we use them. These are available to all who purchase. For those of you that are neurodivergent, we have a lot of neurodivergent clients that do this program because we bring on our resident neurodivergent coach, Kim, who I actually work with because I also have ADHD. So she is going to host a class on how to thrive in this program as a neurodivergent business owner. And she's also going to be doing some Q&As throughout to just keep you steady. Bonus 5 is our passive income planner. It's downloadable and it helps you on your journey in one-to-many, helps you plan out your passive income calendar. It's got tips and advice in on how to grow your audience. And we have a roadmap and a launch map. It's like an interactive checklist that you can tick off everything you've done as you go along so that you know you've done the parts that you need. Who else loves a checklist? Like, this helps me so much. I use this during launches. You just tick them off as you go along because it tells you exactly what to do. And we'll all get access to regular accountability networking calls, and we put you in little small rooms so that you can chat to each other. It's where you'll make your business friends. Everyone gets all of those bonuses. And OTM University. So we give you an entire suite of classes to enhance your business after the main program. So after you've done all of the 11 modules, you'll then get these. These are things like TikTok, how to sell to corporates, how to use a book to be a lead funnel, all different subjects, legal, diversity, just so you can dip into them when you need them, because you get lifetime access to all of this. So that's why it helps you. These are some of the things we've got in the university, all different kinds of things. Now we're giving a different bonus this year. We want you to keep the motivation after you finish. So to keep you motivated and to get to the end, if you have finished the program and done all the modules, after 12 months, you are going to get all of our next programs that people buy for free. So people normally buy Lights, Camera, Launch, which goes more in depth on launching. They buy the Social Media Manager program. All of these are CPD accredited, by the way. So they're a really good standard of program. And they buy Visible. That's worth 5,000, those 3 programs. You're going to get all of those programs if you finish it in 12 months. At your 12 months mark, everyone that we can see has done all of the modules will get them, because we really want you to get to the end, because that's when you get the results. Now, we have got a few bonuses for those people that pay in full, because we have a payment plan. One of them, if you pay in full, you will get our personal feedback on your big idea. Me and the team will share what we think of your idea and what we think will be better if you change things. Another pay in full bonus is you get an in-person day with me. We do an in-person event in London in June, and you will be able to meet your fellow business owners and learn from me and my guests in person. That normally costs for people to come, but you'll get it for free if you pay in full. Now, if you buy in the next 24 hours, you get something really fun. So those of you that buy in 24 hours get Lisa Buddy. This is my little AI version of me that helps you when you get stuck. She can brainstorm with you. She can get you back on track really quickly. We have downloaded my brain into this cartoon version of me, into Lisa Buddy. And you just type and talk to her. She talks with my voice as well, which is weird. But then you can also type and ask questions, and she will help you with all of the parts that you get stuck on. And it doesn't matter if you pay in payment plan. Doesn't matter. As long as you buy in the first 24 hours, you will get Lisa Buddy. But the biggest one is this. If you buy within 24 hours, you get Autumn. This is a crazy, crazy thing that we've invested in because we love it. You get access for 3 months to the best AI agents I've seen. This means you won't need to hire help, as the software can do it for you. It can draft emails. It can organize your leads. It can repurpose content. It takes care of all the repetitive tasks that take hours of time or mean you need to get extra team members. It can do it. The founders of Autumn, who are my friends, will also teach you how to use it and they'll be on hand for support. We don't give you this until a bit further along in the program because we want you to get the main modules in. And then after a couple of months, we'll give you it to help you do all the work for it because it's going to take a lot to train you on it. But it's amazing. And we've paid for you all who buy in the first 24 hours to have this for 3 months for free. It's the best AI software I have seen out there. So, what if you're busy right now and you want it later, or you want to go back over everything, or you have a 9-to-5 job? It doesn't matter. You get lifetime access to all modules of this release of the course. So you can go back to it. We have people that start and then they don't actually start it for a year because they're busy, but they've still got it. And then they come back to me a year later and say, oh, I've just made some money. I started your program. I know I'm late, sorry, which is great. It's great to hear from people. If you're not a coach, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you don't help people make money. It doesn't only work for those people that do. We've had people that have made millions of pounds from helping people with things like trauma, divorce, all sorts of things. It doesn't have to be about money. It doesn't matter if you don't have a business. This kind of starts your business for you. We're going to create your business as we go through. It is for you if you want to cut down on the hours, but still make the money you want to make. You like to learn step by step and implement as you go along. Your business or your 9-to-5 just isn't making you enough money. And it's for you if you want to grow a strong personal brand. It's not for you if you're looking to get rich quick. This takes time, but it's worth it. You will. Some people don't make money in the first 6 months. Some people don't make money for a year. Like, it's putting into place a sustainable business model, and it takes time to do that. And you're going to need to put the work in. You don't have to put loads of hours in. When I first started doing this, I had a full-time job, a wedding planning business, and toddler twins. So I could only put about 2 hours in a day, but I put that 2 hours in and it worked. If you only ever want to work one-to-one, it will help you get one-to-one clients, but there's probably better programs out there if you only want to do one-to-one. So what's the investment? Well, you can either pay 12 monthly payments of £250 and get all of that stuff I just said, or if you pay in full to get the extra bonuses, it's £2,500. I'm going to give you a couple of case studies. This is Matt. After years of running an online business, Matt has seen a total transformation after One-to-Many. Within 8 months, he launched a flagship program that generated over £41,000 in 14 days. He grew his membership from 60 to nearly 250 members at a higher price point and created a new mastermind that brought in over 100,000 in weeks. He's done so well. And this is Dusty. So Dusty was able to take her existing one-to-one business model to teaching one-to-many and made 250,000 in 18 months. And what she said was, rather than diluting what we did, which is what she worried about, we were able to reach people from every corner of the world and impact more people, which is what it's about. And I also wanted to show you Mel, because Mel was a completely new starter, did not have a business. She did One-to-Many, went on maternity leave from her job as a solicitor. And One-to-Many gave her the toolkit to explore other possibilities. She now runs a successful talent management agency and coaching business, and her projected turnover is 1.5 million. I want you to go away and remember one thing: whether you join us in One-to-Many and change everything or not, your knowledge is not common knowledge. People will definitely pay for it. If you want to come on board and work with me this year and my team and each other, you just need to go to otm2026.com and you'll find all of the details there. It's open for a week. We do close the doors. We only do this once a year. We've taken it off Evergreen. You used to be able to buy it whenever you wanted to. We aren't doing that anymore. It's only going to be open once a year so we can spend the time properly with the people that are in it. Okay, let's do some questions. Okay, if you have a question, please write it in sort of nowish. Yeah, in 2027, it will not be the same price. Some of you have noticed it's not the same price as last year. It goes up each year because we put more into it every single year. So it's okay to do that, but it won't be this price. Okay, you mentioned not needing social media during the challenge. So where does our personal brand live? Everywhere. We teach this in the visibility strategy part. There are so many other ways to get yourself out there, whether it's being on podcasts, guesting in people's audiences, all over the place. It doesn't have to be social media. It could even be somewhere like Substack, YouTube. It doesn't have to be social media. You could do both though. When does it start? It starts in, I think, a couple of weeks. It says on the sales page. If you are an alumni, you should have received an email. If you didn't, then you can email support@lisajohnson.com and we can talk to you there if you've done it before. I want to come back in for the bonuses, which everyone loves this year. What are your recommended online platforms for generating your funnel? Would you use the same platform to launch or mix and match between what's out there? It depends exactly on what you're going to do. So it really depends on how big your audience is, whether you're starting from nothing, how many emails you want to send, how many memberships you're going to have, whether you're going to have courses. It completely depends. We use different things. How does it work if you start later than everyone else and at a different stage to the other people? That's fine. You can start whenever you want and just watch the modules afterwards and then ask questions in the group. Yeah, it's 13 weeks. It's actually, the whole program altogether is 6 months. I know this is good value from bitter experience after being ripped off by an American female business coach. Unfortunately, I'm ill and a single mum. Yeah, so many people come to us after being ripped off by other people. When do the accountability sessions take place? We change them all over the place so that if you can't make one accountability session because it's on a time you can't do, you'll be able to make the next one. We kind of move them all throughout the day and evening. When people ask you, can I pick your brains? You just say, oh, I'm really sorry, I charge for that information. It's not a 12-month program, it's a 6-month program. But if you finish it within 12 months, we give you the next programs for free. No, you can't buy single modules. I bought the course last year. Can I join again? Yep, you can. Just email support@lisajohnson.com. I've created my course on sleep for parents with new babies, and it's sitting on the platform because I'm stuck on the legalities and not sure what I need. Do I need the separate T&C for my webinar? I can't tell you that because it's a legal question. We do have a legal bit in one-to-many, but you need to talk to a lawyer about exactly what you need, because if I give you that information and it's wrong, I wouldn't give myself. I know I don't have the time and have some courses to wrap up. When will you ever have the time, though? People always say I don't have the time. I didn't have the time. I had no time, but I made time because I wanted to have time in the future. Same question. The Facebook community after the 6 months is archived. So that means it's still there and you can see everything in it, but you can't write anything after the 6 months. Roughly how many hours a week? I do think you need 2 to 4 hours a week, especially at the beginning. What was your marketing expense in 2025 in comparison to 2024? Expense was less. We spent less in 2025 than 2024. But we put in more hours. There was more of my time showing up. Your overall revenue dropped purposely. We got rid of 15 different programs. That's why it dropped to 2.5 million, because I just didn't want to deliver as much anymore. We're not going to recover from it. That was done completely on purpose. I'm fearful of social media and have little knowledge of technology. We teach you it. Please don't worry. You will definitely be okay with the tech. As long as you don't mind learning something new, we teach you it step by step. How can this work for aesthetics? your knowledge as an aesthetician. I got filler today for the first time on here. Your knowledge, there's so much that you can teach people. And also you can teach other aestheticians how to get clients. I don't have a view on Patreon. How do you get yourself out there in full, in bits, video, written, in all different ways? You get to choose the different layers. Yes, we've got lots of yoga teachers. A clothing business will only work if you don't mind adding knowledge to it. I'm looking at converting a teaching program for schools into digital. Yes, that will work really well. It's not the same price for people that have done OTM before. You get a different price. I know that creating a strong personal brand is key this year, but if I don't want to show my face, could I use AI? You don't even need to use AI. You can create a personal brand without showing your face. Think about Aldi. So when you think about Aldi, the supermarket, it has a really strong personal brand. We think of it as like the cheeky one because of the way it writes things. But we don't know who owns it. Maybe you do, but I don't know who owns it. It's all or nothing at all. To be honest with you, one of the modules is worth 2,500. So we don't sell them singly. A lot of the same questions. If you start and life gets in the way, is there a pause option? You don't need a pause option. You get it for life. So you'll get everything for your lifetime access. Yeah, you can do a pregnancy membership, but you could also do a course, or you can do different things for pregnant women. You don't join the calls if you're in a different stage to everybody else. If you do it later, you just get access to the module, so you do it yourself, basically. How much time is the delivery each week? Mostly 1 hour to 90 minutes. There is 1 week where you will have 2 1-hour sessions. You don't know when it starts. That is a no from me. If it matters so much to you that I know the exact date it starts, even though it's on the sales page, which I'm not looking at right now, so can't give you the exact date. If that's the most important thing to you, you're not the right client for me. Can you have success with a brand that is not you as a person? Yes. What is the final day to join your program? Monday next week. The sales page address is OTM 2026, I think, but someone will post it in here. You mentioned earlier about a framework for personal branding. Where would we find that? I teach it in there. If you have questions, you can always just write and ask me as well. There you go. The date we start is Tuesday, the 24th of February at 8 p.m. My team knows when it starts. And then for 12 weeks. And then you get OTM University after that. Yeah, Renee has a product-based business. So she helps with the product-based businesses. And she also does the mindset calls. But it works in the same way, really. There's the sales page, lisajohnson.com/OTM. Yeah, it can work for fractional senior managers and social care. We've had people do everything in here. Yes, I run most of the sessions personally. Things like Facebook ads, I don't run the sessions because I'm not the best person to. I get the person in that we work with on Facebook ads. If you have questions or you get stuck, you have a one-to-one coach this year, so you can talk to them. You can ask me in the sessions, or you can ask in the Facebook group. There's so much support this year. We run the challenge once a year. Will the times, dates of the live sessions be shared at the beginning so they can be scheduled? Yes. Yeah, if you have a full-time job, so does 50% of the people that do this program. You'd need to make 2 to 4 hours. Yeah, if you've got 1.4K subscribers on a YouTube channel, you'll be able to monetize that with a course. Bundle for women that want to incorporate walking into their life. That would be really good. What could the live element be? So many different things. You could teach people about the equipment they need, or you could just do an accountability membership. So many things. No, the modules aren't recorded. The modules are live, but then we record them in case you want to watch them again later. The shortest time you can complete it in is 3 months. I love this question. I'm a creative person. Writing, editing, and podcasting are my things. Can I sell my services, which would be teaching people to sell their stories? I feel like it's not sexy enough. It's so sexy. That's a really good thing to sell. I've got someone wanting to pick my brains on my course idea tomorrow. How should I share the key bits without overwhelming in an hour? By telling them what they need to know. You can tell them the how. You can tell them the what and the why and not the how. But if someone's picking your brains, you should be charging. I've not started selling one-to-one. Does that matter? No. Most people that work with me don't do one-to-one first. They go straight to one-to-many. This is the best course ever. I learned so much about myself each time I do it. I'm pleased. Can me and my partner do it together because we're working on our courses together? You can request it. Please, can you repeat the URL? I'm sure it's been written in here a few times. Just scroll. What if you don't know what to do? That's why we help you in module 1. If it's 4 a.m. for you, watch it on catch up. How much help do we get at the start if we're unsure of which idea? A lot of help. It's basically the first whole module is about that. I'll be joining. Can't wait. Hey. I love that you put, even though I've retired, we've had 16-year-olds do it and we've had 75-year-olds do it. We're interviewing one of the 75-year-olds. No, we don't roll on or anything like that. It's 6 months. You can't start later in the year. You can, but you need to buy it now and then watch it on catch up. Just message me on Insta, which is Lisa Johnson Strategist. So in theory, could we be launching by August when the course is finished? You can be if you grow an audience in that time, but it takes people different amounts of time to grow an audience. What's a typical week for Lisa Johnson in time investment running a multi-million business? Well, it would be quite nice. And then not much time now. A few things. I have a staff of 10, but I also have 3 businesses that I'm running. So I'm doing lots of different things. So the time goes up and down. I still take off July and August though. The questions you are reading out are not even on here. They definitely are because I'm reading them, Gillian. That's why I just read yours. People are so cynical these days. I told you we're in a trust recession. That's why so many people are so cynical. My personal brand is what I have an issue with, despite being confident in my knowledge and skills. Is this something that can be worked on? Of course, people all have different issues. Do you have to have Facebook? No. You can do it without Facebook. It'd be better though if you could just come in Facebook for 6 months and then leave. Do you recommend any business books for beginners? Mine is called Make Money Online. It's a Sunday Times bestseller. If we have lifetime access to modules, what do alumni gain access to if they join again? It depends how you join. So some people, there's 2 prices for alumni. Some people join just for the being part of the community and doing it live again. And some people, there's a different price if you want all the bonuses, including the one-to-one coach, which is the thing everyone wants, because a one-to-one coach usually costs £10,000 and you get it included in this. Yeah, it will still help you. Lots of people who are already at 7 figures come into this to learn the launching module only. The date of the in-person June event, I haven't got it on me right now. Do you cover anything about speaking live? We do, actually, yes. Yay, Tracy signed up. Will alumni get the bonus of the additional follow-on courses for free too if they complete everything? It depends which alumni package you go for. There are 2. What is taught live versus recorded? Everything's taught live. And then we save it recorded so that you can go and watch it whenever you want to. When does the offer close? On Monday. Don't worry if you haven't nailed your idea. You don't need to sign up for another mastermind. We basically teach you everything in the university bit. You don't need to have a perfected brand. No, I didn't have a website for 2 years and I still made £1 million in the first year. Yeah, there's a lot of help with audience building because that's the biggest bit. Yeah, the tech can be applied to your own CRM systems if you already have one. Yeah, there's a lot of marketing in there. What tech is taught? We don't teach a particular tech. We tell you about them all, but we give you templates you can use for any of them. We have the templates in Kartra. So if you are in Kartra already, it's going to be easier for you. Yes, of course you can have a multi-layered strategy, even if you can't attend in-person events. Lots of people can't. It doesn't matter if you don't want to be visible on social media. Yeah, HR works really well for this. We've had a few HR managers. Adult content can work. We don't judge in the community. You teach whatever you want. I think a lot of these are the same now. How are the modules delivered? Exactly like I'm talking to you now. And the Q&A is exactly like I'm doing now as well. Yeah, sleep quality is a good one. Do some evergreen courses still work if it has you're talking in the video? It can do, but it's better if you can add a little bit of support to it. Yeah, we've got a few people that do franchises. Don't worry if you're still stuck on your idea. We go through it in module 1. Don't worry if what you offer is already out there for free. Not everybody wants free. I don't believe anything that I get for free. Can work for an author, can work for a psychotherapist and a counselor. We need to do a bit of money mindset though. Usually our therapists are the ones that aren't charging enough. Any experience that you've had will work for this. Is there any other costs apart from course costs? Depending, you can do it all for free, but you might want to use things like a platform for your funnel. Now that can range from £9 a month up to £100 a month, depending on what you choose. Apparently there's a Q&A section in here somewhere. I'm just reading the chat, but apparently there's a Q&A section somewhere. Okay, I'm going to go to the Q&A section if I can find it. Oh, there we go. There's 57 more questions in here. Oh, that's probably why Gillian said you're not even reading out the questions that are in here. I was reading the chat questions. I'm going to just pick some out because there's so many. Yeah, we do help you understand affiliates. Do you recommend school? I don't recommend school. I think that there are better, easier ways to do it that you don't have to pay for. Oh, a lot of these are the same. What's the difference between clients and audience? Audience are potential clients. Clients are people that have bought. I would be thrilled with a membership that gave me 74,000. Would you mind sharing how much people pay monthly? Well, mine is £35 a month, but they can all be different. I've created my, I think these are the same questions. Some people wrote them in both because they could see that I was answering them in the chat. Yeah, they're the same questions. You put them in both places because you're all clever and you've realized I was working it out over there. Okay, I think we've answered a big selection, but if you have more questions on one-to-many, then just ask us. Literally just write to me, lisa@lisajohnson.com. I will answer all of your questions personally. But I hope even if you're not joining, that you got something out of this and that you realize you can actually make money online and that things aren't dead or whatever they're saying at the moment. You can do it. I used to think I couldn't do it as well. And so did so many of my clients, especially I'm like the most cynical person I know, but you can't see that all these thousands of people have made it work and not think that you can as well, because you can. And we only get one life and we have to make the most of it. And so we have to try things. But I'm here to help you. Hopefully, I've impacted a lot of you during the challenge and during this. The challenge group will be open for the next week, and we're going to be interviewing all sorts of people that have done one-to-many already. So you can see the kind of ideas that they did it with, to help spark ideas for you. I'm going to love you and leave you, but I will speak to you very soon. Have an amazing night. I'll see you later.